Hi, I'm Emily Epp, Manager of Communications at the Caribou Regional District, here with Mike McCulley, Fire Information Officer at the Caribou Fire Center. And Mike, just wondered if you could explain for us a bit about the new changes to the area restrictions.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Emily. So as of yesterday, we did make some amendments to our area restriction order that we have in play. This is done under Section 11 of the Wildfire Act. What we've done is we've removed the area restriction for most of the parts of the Caribou Fire Center, but we've left it on top of most of our active fire perimeters. We do that to protect the firefighter safety out there and let us continue to do our operations, and also to protect the public. We don't want them coming into burnt over areas that have hazards in them quite yet, so that's why we've gone ahead and done that. We've also left some buffers on some of these fires, Emily. Some of our bigger fires have a 10-kilometer buffer around them. Out in the clean to clean, there's a 5-kilometer buffer, and that's the orange lines that you see around the fire perimeters. So for folks to really find out exactly where those buffers are, what the restrictions are, they can go to our bcwildfire.ca website, click on the Caribou Fire Center link, and check under the area restriction site. That's what's going on right now.
Okay, thanks, Mike. And I wondered if you could touch on what other restrictions are still in place.
Yeah, certainly. We know that there is still off-road vehicle restriction. That still applies. No change there quite yet. We also know that there is some evacuation orders and alerts that oversee some of these things. So whenever folks are going out there, they have to make sure they're aware of all of those items. They have to pay attention and still be very safe out in the backcountry. Just because you're out there doesn't mean that there's not a high fire danger rating and an extreme hazard. We ask folks to really pay attention. There's a campfire prohibition still in play for the whole Caribou Fire Center. Very important that we don't have any more new human-caused fires.
Thanks, Mike. And so like Mike mentioned, evacuation orders are still in place in many areas in the Caribou Fire Center and the Caribou Regional District, so those areas are still restricted out there as well. So another question we've been getting is just in terms of what does this mean for people using the lakes?
Yeah, I mean, we're very happy, Emily, to have folks back on the lakes. We know it's been a long summer. They've been frustrated and unable to use their lakes around their communities. So those are all technically open right now. However, once again, they do have to pay attention to the other restrictions out there. Just because the lake is open, they might not be able to get there. If it's within an evacuation order area, they're not going to be able to get to that lake. So again, they're going to have to look really close at that, check the websites, and figure out what you're doing and how to get there.
Thanks, Mike. And also on that note is there are still some recreation sites and trails closures throughout the Caribou Fire Center. So Rec Sites and Trails BC just announced that they are making some changes to that tomorrow, Saturday, August the 25th. So for all of that information, visit sitesandtrailsbc.ca to see which rec sites are open and closed. As well, some BC parks may still be closed, so you should check BC Parks website to make sure that you know all those details before you go. And like Mike said, make sure that you're being safe and smart out there. Make sure you know before you go. Thanks.
I would just like to add to Emily that if you are out on a lake, one piece I forgot to talk about here today, please respect our aircraft that are doing fire suppression tactics out there. If we're going to be bucketing water out of the lake with a helicopter or using air skimmers to take water out and put it on a fire, we can't do that if you're in the way with your boat. We have to stop our activities, which could cause the fire to grow and create a public hazard. So just like to thank people in advance for being respectful, and please stay well out of the way if you see aircraft working on a water body.
Great, thanks for that reminder, Mike. Have a great day.